Buddhism has endured for more than 2,500 years as a major philosophical and spiritual tradition. It has shaped cultures, ethics, and personal worldviews across Asia and beyond. Yet it did not become the dominant organizing force of industrial civilization. Instead, modern history has been shaped primarily by political economy, capitalism, socialism, nationalism, bureaucratic states, and technological competition. This contrast raises a deeper structural question. If contemplative traditions cannot dominate industrial civilization, and industrial civilization dominates the world, are we locked into systems that reward craving, growth, and competition? Buddhism originated as a path concerned with suffering and the transformation of consciousness. Its central teachings emphasize non-attachment, mindfulness, compassion, and ethical restraint. These principles aim at reducing craving and moderating ego-driven ambition. They focus on inner regulation rather than external expansion. Unlike political ideologies, Buddhism does not provide a detailed framework for managing industrial production, organizing global trade, defending territory, or accelerating technological development. It addresses how individuals relate to desire and impermanence, not how states maximize output or strategic advantage. Historically, Buddhism influenced societies at cultural and ethical levels. It shaped monastic education, art, architecture, and ideals of moral leadership in parts of South and East Asia. Yet governance structures relied on administrative systems better suited to large-scale coordination. In China, Confucian bureaucracy structured the state. In Japan, Buddhist institutions coexisted with feudal and later imperial systems. Even where Buddhist values were respected, they did not replace taxation systems, military organization, or hierarchical administration. The structural mechanics of power remained intact. The modern industrial era intensified this pattern. Industrial civilization depends on sustained economic growth, technological innovation, labor mobilization, and national competition. Political economy became central because it directly manages production, distribution, and state capacity. Ideologies such as nationalism and communism mobilized populations through identity and material progress. Under leaders like Mao Zedong, religion was subordinated to revolutionary and industrial objectives. In competitive global environments, systems that optimize growth and coordination tend to outcompete those oriented toward renunciation. This structural reality highlights a deeper tension. Industrial civilization rewards expansion, accumulation, efficiency, and measurable output. Markets incentivize consumption. States prioritize growth to maintain stability and geopolitical relevance. Military systems emphasize deterrence and strategic advantage. These incentives reinforce ambition and competition. By contrast, contemplative traditions encourage moderation, reduction of craving, and detachment from status-driven pursuits. The values promoted by each system often move in opposite directions. If contemplative traditions cannot become dominant within industrial civilization, and industrial civilization now defines global modernity, the question becomes structural rather than theological. Are human societies locked into growth-driven systems because large-scale coordination requires competition and expansion? Does technological complexity inherently favor incentive structures that amplify desire rather than restrain it? This does not mean contemplative philosophies are fantasies or failures. They may function effectively at the level of individual transformation and cultural ethics. However, their influence may be limited in environments where survival and success depend on scaling production and maintaining competitive advantage. Industrial complexity tends to sideline worldviews that do not directly contribute to economic acceleration or strategic power. The broader philosophical question, then, is whether large-scale civilization is fundamentally incompatible with deep spiritual orientation. If sustaining billions of people requires continuous growth, resource extraction, and competitive innovation, then societies may structurally reward the very impulses contemplative traditions attempt to temper. In that case, the reason these spiritual traditions don't play a big role in modern industrial society is because the system itself leaves little room for them, not because their ideas are weak or wrong.